Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Backpacktrader training room for Tuesday, November 15th, 2022. Please note the required risk disclosure. This room is for educational and information purposes only. It is not to be considered individual financial advice. Trading of this type carries substantial risk and should be only attempted with capital that you have set aside as risk capital. Funds that you can afford to lose. All right, market is open. YM got into a long trade and just hit money management now. So that's going to be a one and done session. Lots of movement on the Russell here this morning. The first trade is too fast to have caught. The long, the short. 7-second bar. That one, you got a fairly good chance of getting into that one. That one goes target 2, but that's not an actionable target on that trade plan, so that's a break-even trade. And we come to a long 2, 3, still 3, still just 3 seconds to target 1. And just 8 seconds to up here. So that one's too fast to trade. Nice trade though. Soybeans is in a short. Got in sync with the long. Looks like. Let's see. Yeah, definitely in sync with the long, and then we get a stop and reverse. It comes up at 37.50. Did trigger in and just hit target 1. So we go from 38.75 to 37.50. 5-tick loss. 4 positions, that's 20 ticks. Pick up. And target 1 is not. Target 1 is only 5 ticks. We need at least 6. So we need to come down to 36 even. And we do get, for money management, target 2 is our objective now. That is 9 ticks, so 18 ticks. And we're still down 2 ticks. So we're basically at break even right now. Stop at 37.25. And the YM takes target 1, target 2 if you're trading that, target 3, and stops out. It looks like a tick, just a tick or 2 at 894 from 838. So we pick up entry at 838, pick up 27 to target 1. And showing 894 there, but I was like 871 was our entry. Excuse me. That's why I was looking at the stop. So 871 to 894 is 13. So 40 ticks on that trade for a one and done session on the YM. A stop out here would put us exactly break even, so we would take another trade on soybeans. Still in the January contract there. Unleaded also is in the January contract. Volume crossed over last week, oddly enough, and yeah, there's our stop out on soybeans. So we're exactly break even. So starting all over again. But as soon as we get positive, we will be POQ. Good morning, Miles, Pamela, Trader Man. All right, while we're waiting for something new out of now, let's see what we've got going on with now. I believe this actually, if we get an up close above the balance line on soybeans, this should be a purple trade, I think, if I'm reading the chart correctly. Because it's equal to the second set of exhaustion dots. Well, we'll have to see what happens. All right, so let's come back here on the Russell, 932. We definitely get in that trade with the wick on the third bar. $18 seconds on the bar, so yeah, definitely into that one. That gets target 1, 2, and 3. Targets 3 and 4. And a roughly target 2 trailer, so that's a winning trade. So we have a break even. That should be an avoidable trade. And a winner. And then we pick up a loser that goes to break even if we get in it. And then we go to break even on the long trade. So 2 break evens, 1 win, 1 loss through 4 trades. Another short trade. Oh, 2, 3. That one is plenty of time. So the wick coming back, definitely in the trade. That goes break even. Doesn't quite. Yes, it actually does get to target 3, it looks like. Target 3 is also right in there with the fixed target. So a second winner on trade number 5 and a small trailer. Target 3 and trail. And our, whoa, that was quick. 2, 6. I'm afraid that one's going to be a loss on trade number 6. So that would end the session on the Russell 6 minutes in. Or no, 8 minutes. Yeah, 8 minutes in. All right, there is a short trade on soybeans. I would push that to 35 even, get below that swing level. And so that's going to push our money management to 33.50. So there is the potential trade. Crude oil. We're watching soybeans. First trade, they're at 901.24. 5 seconds through. Unlikely that's tradable. Does never come back. So I'm going to assume that was not tradable. Second trade is a very small trade. Money management at target 3. So just target 3 and 4 are our objectives. That gives us a 9-second bar with a significant little wick down here. So I would say that's going to be, we would be in that trade, picking up 10 and 13 ticks on the targets and making it a one and done session. Next trade is another long that just meanders about, stops and reverses to short, and then looks like ultimately stops and reverses back to long for a full stop out. So one and done is a good way to end that session. Unleaded gas. First trade's at 6 seconds after our start time. And that in 6 seconds is back down here, touches the entry twice and is back down here in 6 seconds. So that one is not tradable in my view. So our second trade waits to 907.44. Trade off the 50 EMA, yellow long trade. 6 seconds on the initial bar, but it does come back to get us in on a get in sync. Hits target 1 and target 2, so that's a one and done POQ for everybody. Target 1 was 43 ticks, target 2 was 66, and we stop out on the trailer at 47.39 from the entry at 47.17. So 22 ticks on the trailer. 88 for target 2 traders, 65 for target 1 in a one and done session. So we come to the MNQ. And that looks like it's been slow this morning. Our 4-minute wait on the start time. I would say puts us in that trade 22 seconds after our start time, the close of this bar, with the wick way up here. I would say we're definitely in that trade, and ultimately come down through target 1, come to break even, and we do touch, looks like we touched target 2 right on the nose. Target 2 was 03 even, and we get that's 03.25. That's 03. We missed it by 1 tick. That's one I would have, especially the second time it came in there. I would have to say you definitely want to take profit there. and it stops out at break even, not getting to a point where it will trail. So I would count that as a win. You got to take some profit when it gets that close to targets that at that level of target, 28.5 point target. This long, 5 seconds to the bar. I would say chances are that was avoidable, but I'll count it as a loss. Four seconds, it hits the stop and then comes back down again. So that no way to have traded that. And we are flat at the moment on the micro NQ. And the short cancels on soybeans, still flat and still even on the session. So let's come over here and take a look at the pound Aussie. The pound Aussie was moving quite a bit this morning. You get in sync on the long, no way to avoid it here. And we stop and reverse to short for a full stop out. Stop and reverse at 34. Strong move. I would wait for confirmation on this one. You've got to move up, pull back to the testing the 50, and then a strong move up. That looks like a reaction. So I would tend to wait for that to test those highs again. If it had come back through here, I'd have taken it, but that is a full loss if you took it, which would be the strictly by the trade plan without using any art of trading. That would be another full loss. For trade number 3, this trade is avoidable. You adjust around the 20 SMA and it never triggers in. And then we come to another another full loss short. So a trending day on the pound Aussie. That's definitely not getting us to winning positions on the shorts. That's a short that cancels. And that's where we are. Tough day on the pound Aussie. And we've got a short trade on the soybeans. Yep. 38 to 17. So lots of time on that one. And you had plenty of time to prepare for that one to set up. This bar took 17 seconds to set up. You had 36.50. You know that it's a 5-tick bar. That's going to put it at 35.25. And so that would put your setup at 34.75. So that's a sizable trade. We've got to get down as 31.75 for our money management, and we'll have to break down through the session low. All right, long trade set up, push it up a tick, and just triggered in on the long. Definitely in the long now on the MNQ. with one win, probably avoidable. I'll count it as a loss, and that trade is definitely too fast to have gotten in. So in the long there, short on soybeans, and we're about 9 minutes from the 10 a.m. crude session. And soybeans coming back up into the moving, testing the 20 and the 50. See if it continues up or goes back down. And good morning, Arizona Bob. Good morning, Waleed. And our MNQ trade did stop out, loss number 2. Potential get in sync for the 10 a.m. session on crude. That trade will be valid to get in sync unless it hits the stop or the money management before our start time. And another reversing short on the pound Aussie. The up move definitely slowing down, so this is one. These are more likely trades. Let's see, it's 12 ticks to target 1. So that's a minimum target 1. That stop and reverse long is filtered at the moment by the hybrid mode, but if this bar closes, at that entry, we're probably going to get a valid trade because it looks like at least at the moment, intra-bar, the trend indicator is going to close positive on this bar if it closes up, for sure. And there it is. Stop and reverse. So exit your short position. Stop and reverse just triggered in at 37.75. So probably exit at 38 even. Entry at 37.75 to long. Actually, no, the stop and reverse would be at 38.25, so that would have been your 38.25 would have been your stop and reverse. So that would be stop and reverse and the exit from the long. So, or from the short rather. 34.75. And actually we adjusted that down to 34.50. Because it spiked right to the entry. And actually I didn't see those other two 34.25 would have been, but anyway, 34.50 to 38.25 is 3 3/4 points. Big trade, and it still cut the loss. So that's 15 down 60. So we'll have to see if it pushes on through the 200 EMA. That will be the first test. This next test will be pushing through that swing high that's right at our target. Okay, no trigger on the short, and we get a long 43. Yeah, and plenty of time to get into that. So in another long on the micro NQ. And target one on pound Aussie. Trailing stop now at 77.37 from our entry at 77.38. Under 3 minutes to our 10 a.m. crude session. Long trade still a potential get in sync. Micro NQ hitting target 2. That's winner number 2. Against 2 losses. And this is a bigger trade. No, this is a standard. This is a standard trade. So 28.5. And we will start trailing before too terribly long here. And almost to our start time. Another 20 seconds. Soybeans so far not able to push through, spike through, but we need a close above that 200 to really start get this trade moving. It's a nice move so far, and it did push above the last swing high, but not getting through, and we're trailing now, and we just hit target 3 on the micro NQ, and we're into the 10 a.m. crude session. And a short trade. Short trade does trigger in. And soybeans does get a close above the 200, not very far. We'll have to see if it holds. 22 even, 12,022 for the trailing stop on the MNQ. Solid win with target 2 and target 3. And a good trailer so far. Target 2 was 12,024. And there we are at 12,024.75. So 27.75, moving up. Our short trade and crude taking some heat. And taking a full stop out on crude. Loss of 56 ticks. 28 tick risk. That was a sizable trade. Target 4 on the MNQ. 30.75 for the trailer. And there's a solid close above the 200. Wanting to pull back, but that's a good sign for the trade. But we still have that swing high to try to push through to get. It's right at our target, so have to watch where that goes. Soybeans on counterpunch here. The YM, crude, and our unleaded charts were spotlight. And we're running catapult on the micro NQ, and we were running catapult on the M2K, which is the micro Russell. And spotlight on the pound Aussie for our day trading there. Nothing changing there, just came back to the 50 EMA. Now looks like it's probably going to stop out at our break-even stop it. And there it is. So picking up 12 pips on target, 4 more on the trailing stop from the other remaining 4 positions. So definitely still a losing session on the pound Aussie, but that's helpful to pick up a little of that back. Looking for a new trade, and target 1 on soybeans. That's a 13 tick target. 1441. Actually 12.5 ticks because of the stop and reverse adjustment. Or 12.5. There 11 ticks. 2 3/4 points. So that leaves us our stop will be 38.50, actually 38.75, yeah, 38.50 because of the stop and reverse adjustment. No change in the micro NQ or the crude 10 a.m. session. Soybeans pushing toward target 2, be 19, another 19 ticks. Trying to push through the session open at 42.50. That's where it opened yesterday evening. And pound on, or the micro NQ stopping out on the trailer at 33.50. 33.50. Yeah, it ticked up again from 30.75 to 33.50. So we pick up 38 points on the trailer and a short trade. Still one. 5 seconds to the fourth bar. That didn't come back to the entry, so I would say we aren't in this trade yet. But if it does pull back up to 25.50, we will be in it, and there it is. So we are short the MNQ on the MNQ, and I missed a short on crude, and it's taking heat. All right, soybeans stopped to 38.75. Rejected at the session open. Two ticks from target 2. So we now have 2 ticks on the trailer on the 3 remaining positions. And another full stop out. That will end the session with 2 full stop outs. 2 losses ending the session on crude. Tough session on the 10 o'clock session this morning. Micro NQ is trying to work its way down to target 1 in the short. Soybeans still in the long. That is a potential stop and reverse short. That's a white trade. Hasn't set up, but it's so far it's still filtered by the hybrid mode as a stop and reverse. Our trend indicator has to show short before it will take a stop and reverse to short. Okay, well, looks like we touched, but didn't actually. That's odd. Looks like the crude trade did not stop out, but it looks like it did touch. So I would say you should be out of it, and the session would be over. Micro NQ and soybeans both kind of stuck right now, trying to figure out which way they want to go. $200 EMA on soybeans now providing support for an additional move up. Looks like it could be an appropriate reaction. We'll just have to see how it plays out. Falling in the category of we don't know squat until it happens on the right edge of the chart. Any questions or comments this morning? Everybody's being quiet. That's a good solid move off of the 200. Now let's see if it can continue higher. It just took an awful long time to do that. And target 1 on the micro NQ. So that will make this at least a break-even trade. Stop comes to 25.25 from our entry at 25.50. Yep. and taking a shot. And there's a stop out. So that's a break-even trade. And our crude trade definitely stopping out now. So, okay, we got a win there. I will take that as a loss. That is a loss. This short was avoided because that hit the stop. Actually, that may not have been. That may actually have been a valid trade. We'd have to dissect it. I'm not going to make it say that it is so, but would have been a target 3 winner. And lots of time to get in it. If it did, I think I saw that it touched the entry out of the box and then went up and then came back down again. So that's why that trade was too fast to get in on. Thank you, Pamela. I only try to focus on that for the room. I don't even think about trading that many charts. This is just because people in the room obviously trade different markets. So we try to have some different examples of different markets that can be traded. So two losses. The short didn't trigger. The long is win number 2. Short is a break even. So that's 5 trades. We can take one more trade. So we've got some time to cover questions. Soybean still in the long trade. We have target 1 in hand. And we're currently going into this trade. We were down 60 ticks on 4 positions. Have a good afternoon in England there, Pamela. That's a trade we're not taking on crude. That's a short at 85.04, but that we have ended the session with two full losses. And another short that definitely we are in on the micro NQ. This is our last trade of the morning. I'm not familiar with that. Niall Fuller, PA. Is that something in Pennsylvania or is that a person? Hope everybody had a good weekend. And oh, okay. I'm not familiar with the reference to Niall Fuller. All right, MNQ in the short. All right, the stop and reverse. The short stop and reverse is still, it became a valid trade, but it's still filtered. We did finally get the crossover on the histogram, but the trend indicator is still blue, therefore it's up and is filtering out short trades at the moment since we're already in a long trade. And a full stop out on the MNQ, and that ends the session there. So the MNQ is done. We have not had any new trades on the pound Aussie. Came back down for another test of the 200, but bounced off it fairly significantly. The more times we do that, the more likely it is we'll break below it. Okay, that was loss number 3 on the 6th trade, so the session ends either way on the MNQ. So pound Aussie still can take some trades, a couple of trades, and soybeans is still, and now I don't understand everything I'm seeing. Oh no, that's the trailer just came up to 39.75, and we have a stop. We do have a stop and reverse at 39.50. The reason the trade became valid is because we would stop out of the long trade before hitting the short entry. So in 38.25 entry, we have a 39.75. So we've got 6 ticks, and testing that stop We've got 6 ticks on 3 positions. That's 18 ticks. We took 11 on the target. And that would roughly have our loss on the stop and reverse from short to long. Would leave us down 31. But we are still long at the moment. And the short trade did just cancel on soybeans. So all we have is the trailing stop at 39.75. And another bit of a bounce. Do we get higher? 1443 even is the next target. That's 19 tick target. There's the session open. And punching through just a little bit. Getting 1 tick. 1 tick away from target. If it gets there again, I would mark it out of that one position. And we just hit and there's the target. So 19 and 11 is 30. That gets us halfway. We still have 2 positions remaining, and our stop is at 1440.75. So now 10 ticks on 2 positions. We need another 5 ticks to get us even. 6 ticks would get us positive. Target 3 is all the way up at 44.75 for 26 ticks. That will get, if we hit that with the trailer, we will certainly be positive. All right, looks like I'm starting to lose my audience, and nobody's carrying on the discussion. And touching the session high at 43.75. $40.75 for the stop. Printing your charts for your records. Can soybeans push through to new session highs? It needs one more point. Actually, 5 ticks above the session high to get to target, to the target 3. Okay, another push. We got the 44.25. We just need 2 more ticks. And then we did get a move to 14.41 even for the trailing stop. If we get those 2 ticks, this will be a POQ trade because we will be positive when the trade completes. Still having trouble pushing through that 44.25 mark. And 44.50, one more tick. Getting within 1 of the target, I would move the stop for that position to 14.43. Take your 19 ticks there. Move it to target 2. So you don't give it all back. And that also puts you at break even because we've got 11 ticks in hand on the trailer. So we've got our full 60 ticks recovered with given the target stop at target 2, target 3 stop sitting at target 2, and our trailing stop sitting at 14.41. And we should pick up another tick on the trailer at the close of this bar. We're definitely going to close above the balance line. So we will come up to 14.41.25 at least, and that will definitely put us to positive. If you come up to that 1 tick again, I would go ahead and mark it out of that one position. All right, and it just did hit where I would put the stop at target 2 for the third target position. So 19 ticks on that one. We have 12 ticks in hand on the trailer. That's going to put us 1 tick positive on the session.